Did you know that right here in America, we discard over 151 million phones every single year? That's enough to circle the entire US coastline 3 times if laid end to end. Even more alarming, the average American home contains 45 unused phones sitting in drawers and closets, adding up to nearly 1 billion forgotten devices across our nation. And that old iPhone sitting in your junk drawer, it's not just clutter, it's part of a growing crisis in our own backyard. Welcome to MLGCash YouTube channel. Why your old phone matters more than you think. I'm from MLGCash, and today we're uncovering the hidden impact of America's smartphone addiction and how your old devices could actually put money back in your pocket. Even more shocking, every single day we throw away 350,000 smartphones. Here in the US, we replace our smartphones every 24 months on average, even though 90% of these devices are still in perfect working condition. With over 300 million smartphone users in America, that's a staggering amount of waste. So where do all these American phones go? The EPA reports that less than 15% of e-waste in the United States is properly recycled. The rest end up in our landfills or get shipped overseas, despite laws meant to prevent it. In states like California, Texas, and New York, e-waste has become the fastest growing waste stream, with smartphones making up an increasing portion. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency portion, Americans discard $60 million worth of gold and silver alone through trashed phones annually, literally throwing money away. The environmental impact starts before disposal. Manufacturing the smartphones Americans buy requires mining materials from 12 different states, using enough water to fill 15,000 Olympic swimming pools annually, creating a carbon footprint equal to adding 4.7 million cars to U.S. roads. All for devices that most Americans will replace before their next presidential election. Your smartphone contains resources that are increasingly scarce even in America. More gold per ton than in many U.S. gold mines. Rare earth elements that the Department of Defense considers strategically critical. Lithium that's becoming essential for America's energy future. Copper in quantities that would make early American miners rush to claim. In fact, the USGS estimates that discarded electronics in America represent one of the richest untapped mines in the country. A recent study found there's more gold in 1 ton of discarded American smartphones than in 1 ton of ore from actual U.S. gold mines. When your old iPhone or Galaxy ends up in a landfill, we're not just polluting American soil, we're burying our own valuable resources. Every time a new smartphone model launches, millions of Americans rush to upgrade. But the EPA estimates each new smartphone generates approximately 85,110 kilograms of CO2 during production. That's like driving from New York to Washington, D.C. and back. Here's what most Americans don't realize. The EPA has identified over 500 sites in the U.S. where e-waste has contaminated local environments. These aren't just in remote areas, they're near neighborhoods, schools, and water sources. American researchers have linked exposure to e-waste chemicals to serious health concerns. Children in areas with e-waste processing showing decreased cognitive function. Higher rates of certain cancers in communities near improper disposal sites. Reproductive health issues in affected regions. Contamination of local water supplies in multiple states. The CDC estimates that over 20 million Americans live within 10 miles of a site contaminated with electronic waste chemicals. This isn't some distant problem, it's happening in American communities right now. And those old phones in American homes are making it worse. The good news is that every American can be part of the solution with 3 simple steps. First, make your current phone last longer. The average American could save $300 a year by keeping their phone 1 extra year. Using a protective case prevents 80% of common damages according to Consumer Reports. Battery replacement at an American repair shop costs about $70, while a new iPhone costs over $1,000. Second, consider the American refurbished market. U.S. certified refurbished phones cost $3,050 less than new devices. Come with warranties backed by U.S. consumer protection laws. Reduce your carbon footprint by over 90%. Support American tech repair jobs. Third, never throw your old phones in the trash. when phones are properly recycled in American facilities. 96% of materials can be recovered and reused in domestic manufacturing. Precious metals stay in the American supply chain. Toxic materials are handled according to strict EPA guidelines. You prevent the equivalent of 75 kilograms of CO2 emissions per device. And here's something most Americans don't know. You can actually get paid to do the right thing. At MLGCash, we're an American company committed to responsible recycling right here in the USA. When you sell your old phone to us, we pay you competitive rates based on current U.S. market values. We ensure all personal data is completely wiped according to NIST standards. We process your device in American facilities, creating jobs at home. We comply with all EPA and state-level environmental regulations. For every iPhone or Android processed through our American-based system, we recover materials that reduce the need for new mining operations in the U.S. We prevent electronic waste from ending up in American landfills. We help reduce our nation's carbon footprint one device at a time. Take a moment to check your drawers, closets, and storage boxes. According to a recent U.S. survey, the average American household has 45 forgotten phones gathering dust. That's not just clutter, it's cash and a chance to help our environment. That old iPhone or Samsung you replaced. It's not just taking up space, it's an opportunity to put money in your pocket while helping keep America beautiful. Visit MLGCash.com today or click the link below to get an instant quote. As an American company, we provide free shipping labels anywhere in the 50 states. Remember, America's smartphone e-waste crisis is significant, but the solution is as close as your junk drawer. Your old phone matters more than you think to your wallet and to our nation.